Hi everyone. Okay, this is a lot harder than I initially expected. This is, I don't know, I think the gazillionth time I'm trying to record an intro of sorts, but it's going like crap, so I guess I'm gonna start talking now and see where I go with this. And I'm not gonna stop talking, hopefully, until the end of what I have planned for this episode. Okay, what's this about? Who am I? Why the fuck is this happening? I'm Chris. Uh, and welcome to my podcast. It started out as starting as a closed project. I don't mean to keep this going forever. I think it's just going to be a few episodes of me talking about myself, of my journey and struggles with mental health. I started this as a way of coping with my own traumas, with what I've got on my plate, and well, yeah, we'll see how this goes. Maybe someone will find this inspiring because, to be honest, I have been planning this for a while, but I did start a blog a few months ago, but it was, I guess, too early for me to go anywhere with it. Blog. That's that's an exaggeration. I just published a few pictures with a personal description each on Instagram, but that didn't go anywhere. Uh, that whole thing kind of died on its own after 3 or 4 pictures. Yeah, as I said, I guess I wasn't ready for it. But now, well, here we are. I hope I go somewhere with this. I am hoping to talk through my life, but not in a way that is going to be, um, well, this is going to be a bit counterintuitive because I'm gonna start with how my life is right now. And as we progress into this project, I'm going to just go back and back and back until I've said everything and everything clicks into place. So, as I said, my name is Chris. I've been suffering from depression. Uh, Basically, well, the best guess is I've been suffering from depression throughout my whole life, and I have been addicted for a quarter of a century. I'm 37 years old, and I've started using substances. I am an alcoholic. I've started drinking when I was 12, and you might think I'm exaggerating again. When I say that when I was 12, I already became addicted to alcohol. But when I get to it, you'll realize what I've realized over the course of my therapy. That actually, yeah, that is the first moment that that I started abusing alcohol. But day-to-day life, as it is right now, I've been in therapy for about, in total, I guess it will be 2.5 years when I took my first steps trying to get professional help from an expert in the field of addiction. Not that that I knew already that I had depression, but I did know that I was addicted. And it was, yeah, 2.5 years ago, I started looking for help. But those steps didn't lead actually to anything. I To be honest, I did everything I could to get my way out of going to therapy until one day I got in trouble with the law for stealing alcohol and groceries in a shop, and you know, an alcoholic thinks that he's the smartest person alive, and he's masking so well that no one in the world ever realizes that what he's doing, what they're doing. Sorry, and yeah, I was that person 100%. I thought I was being clever, I thought I was being smart, and I got a fix out of stealing not only alcohol, I started stealing other things, and I got a higher kick out of the actual act of stealing rather than alcohol consumption itself later on. And after the third time I got caught in the same shop, stealing alcohol again, I went to talk to a psychiatrist. At this point, none of this is actually me doing anything, right? Because at the time, I was married, and it's actually thanks to my wife, I started going to therapy, and thanks to my wife, I went. I checked myself into a psychiatric hospital for 2 months. Addiction therapy, closed therapy. 2 months in a closed setting in the hospital. Just me and a bunch of alcoholics having group therapy for the most of the day, Monday till Friday, and just one group on Saturday. And after 2 months, when I got out, I continued my therapy. I still couldn't join a group outside of the hospital. I checked myself into a clinic that specializes in addiction therapy. I still couldn't join a group because none of them had actually started. This was still happening during midsummer through fall and hot winter, and then on February 2021, 2022, sorry, on February 2022, I finally managed to join a group, and I've been in group therapy up till today, and today we're having the 2nd of April 2023. So over a year, 14 months to be exact, of group therapy, and I haven't had a drink in over 2 years. In 2 years, sorry. I'm not counting days because it's like not a fucking competition, you know? I totally get why people would count the days, but I'm not. I wouldn't even know when to start count, because I don't really remember when was the last time I had a sip of alcohol. Because during the last years of my active drinking, I didn't drink that much, to be honest. I had to camouflage myself and do everything I could to not to let people know that I am drunk at the moment. But I guess, as I said before, everyone probably knew. But we'll get to that. So, 2 years sober, or rather abstinent, not sober. There is this kind of distinction which I find really, really accurate and true between being abstinent and sobriety. Sobriety is when you finally become a grown up, when you finally develop a set of skills to cope with your problems rather than just, sit up butt tight and just pull through all of your problems until they somehow get resolved and things like that. No, this is a butt squeeze that I really don't envy anyone, because it's a horror show that, well, no wonder people go back to drinking if they hurt so much, because it does hurt. It hurts like hell not being able to drink and not being able to develop oneself and work through your traumas, work through whatever it was that led you to drink in the first place. I guess I did find it along the way to actually tell myself that I kinda, on the one hand, I kinda am thankful that I started drinking, because I probably saved myself from a far worse fate than that. Yeah, but I'm not actually going to. Hypothesizing doesn't do me any favors. I found it out kind of the hard way during therapy and during the last during the last year or so. But yeah, we'll get to that some other time. Right now, okay, this is an interesting turn of events, an interesting update, because I have recorded about I'm not even 12 minutes in. I've been preparing for over. I've been trying to record this for over an hour, and I've just passed the 12-minute mark. And today in the morning also recorded my first TikTok, telling hi to the platform and wanting to share on as many platforms as possible my history. To help me get better, and also maybe someone would find this out and get inspired or something. And how I experience really deep sensations, really deep emotions or experiences, is that I will get sick every once in a while. Feeling emotions, intense emotions, is really draining for me. And after I've, got into really euphoric state, or being really sad, or being really angry, drains so much energy from me that I am absolutely paralyzed after that. For a few days, I am absolutely at my lowest energy levels ever. I can barely get out of bed, let alone work. Well, I don't want to overuse sick leave, so I try to work normally and try to function normally, but on a very basic level, right? I get up, I have no energy to exercise. I sometimes will try that anyway and not do anything, obviously. But it's important for me that I make that effort to at least try. And it's not because I know it's good for me, but to ease my conscience, because I feel guilty that I didn't do enough. I feel guilty that I didn't put that extra effort. I feel guilty of even thinking of consulting a doctor to get a few days off, to just get some rest, get better, and get back to life. Yeah, I feel guilty of those things, which may sound ridiculous or crazy, or choose your choose your word, choose your poison. But that's how it is, and I'm learning to cope with that. I'm learning to live with that, and that's kind of a. It's not a new reality, but it's a new realization that this kind of thing happens. Um, and I want to be as prepared as I possibly can, and I want to learn how to manage myself in these periods when I will completely collapse out of feeling powerless and well, it's not being helpless, and well, not exactly powerless, um, without any energy to do anything beyond the basics. Cooking is during that time is absolutely out of the question. I have a full freezer of food. But if I don't feel like doing anything in regards to food, I will just order anything. Um, so, a typical day when I enter this low energy state is that I wake up, I lay in bed for an hour, and I am too heavy to get up. I am absolutely too heavy to get up. The air is too thick to move. And after an hour, I find the strength to finally get up, or something forces me to get out of bed. Like, I don't know, going to the bathroom, which I keep for as long as I can. But when I am finally forced to get up, I drag myself to the bathroom or to the kitchen or whatever place I need to be, or whatever place I have to be at this point, and just start living. I've heard of a really fantastic analogy to how I'm feeling during that moment. Imagine when you wake up, you have a certain amount of I don't know. Let's call them points, energy points to spend as you will. And some things will cost you 1 point, some will cost you 4 points. For some people, getting up, washing up, eating breakfast, and going to work, and all that costs them just 1 point. For me, getting out of bed costs me at least 4 points. But by this point, I barely got out of bed, and I've already reached almost half the energy I had for that day. And there's just, you can spend more energy than you have, but that's like getting an energy loan of sorts, which more or less, sooner or later, you will have to pay off. And that moment is even more dreadful than what you've heard just now. And yeah, I'm trying not to do that. I did do that in the past. I went the extra mile. I did get an energy loan. I did get that kind of credit, but sooner or later, I would collapse even more, And that's when my emotions would also spin out of control. Uh, right now, for about a month, I've been feeling really, really well. Surprisingly well. But it's not a kind of euphoric state or a manic state or a manic phase or anything like that. I just feel emotions in kind of the mid range. I feel happy, but not euphoric. I also feel sad, but not, down in the gutter. I feel gratitude. I feel jealousy. But it's not anything extreme. I mean, and those emotions don't, um, they don't control my actions. Okay, it may sound a bit strange here, but I in the past, I even quite recent past, my actions would be controlled by emotions. I feel something, thus I do as my emotions tell me to, and I am not kind of detached from my emotions. I feel, therefore I do. It's not that I have a certain emotion and I can decide what to do about it, how to, how to get in contact with said emotion. Yeah, I feel happy, so I enter a euphoric state. I go spending money, go shopping, or try to meet someone new. And right now, I think of all those three things: my actions, my emotions, and my knowledge. They are connected, but my actions aren't controlled by my emotions, as it did happen in the past. Quite often, actually. And what I know had nothing to do with what I actually do, um, because I act upon my emotions. And now it's not that my emotions don't control my actions, which is huge progress for me. And I am so very happy for it. So I'm in this kind of mid range right now. I've been for a month. Before that month, I was in relapse. Okay, one thing, relapse when it comes to addiction doesn't mean that I started drinking again. It means that for whatever reason, I have been experiencing very intense hunger for substances, for something that would control my emotions, that would influence what I am feeling. Well, and when in the period of active drinking, it was the substance that regulated my emotions, and for whatever, and it doesn't happen like Monday everything's fine, and then Tuesday relapse happens, and Wednesday a person starts drinking. No, there are signs, and I have to be in contact with myself on a level deep enough that will allow me to constantly monitor myself. This sounds really really tiresome, and really it's like you have to be all ever vigilant and watchful, and kind of in a state of paranoia. And I did have do feel rebellious of this kind of reality, because this is my reality. I have to watch out for signs that something may be happening to me that may lead to a relapse in the future. And it can be, I don't know, a week, a month, a quarter of a year, even. You didn't do something or just let something slide, and then you don't realize that you're losing another step and then another step, and then you're giving the field away step by step with these little inch by inch steps. You start to skip meals. You start to sleep a little worse. You start experiencing and just exposing yourself to situations that can be really difficult for you, because if you're in a state of constant hunger for substance, going to meet your friends, for example, in a bar in the evening with people consuming alcohol all around you, this is a difficult situation. And I'm not saying everyone has to watch out. There are people that are perfectly fine going to social situations, going to bars with friends, but not drinking, and just taking good care of themselves, and being able to take part in such events without any threats, right? To me, this is not yet the case. And I also feel kind of rebellious about this whole ever vigilant thing. Some things have become more natural for me. And it's not like I have to be always actively scanning my emotions, my thoughts, my surroundings, what I do, how much I sleep. No, there are some things that have fallen into a kind of routine, and when I fall out of this routine, that's when an alarm goes off, and I know that I have to watch out or make up for this for the slip out of the routine. So, for example, one of my routines is that I go to bed early and get up really early to get a decent night's sleep. So at around 8 p.m. I want to be already in bed. Yeah, 8 p.m. I want to be in bed. Sorry, because I want to get up at between 4 and 5 a.m. Because to me, this is the best time for me to do any kind of physical exercise, to go jog or lift weights or stretch, do yoga, anything that involves any kind of physical activity. This is my time for it. I've tried on a multitude of occasions to do this later during the day, and 99% of the time I don't feel like doing any kind of exercise later on. So this is my routine, even during weekends when I don't have to get up so early. I actually want to, because that's better for me, to have this this constant, to have this kind of consistency with my routines. That helps me a lot. Of course, there are times where I fall out of this routine or sleep less, So then during the weekend I make up for the loss of sleep, and sleep in even till, wow, 8 a.m. So that this is me sleeping in, sleeping longer, and making up for, I don't know, for less sleep during the week. Um, sure, there are situations when I don't get enough sleep out of various reasons, but they extremely rarely are my fault. Um, Meaning that one out of every I don't, I don't even I don't even know the numbers. Couple dozen occasions it would be me not going to bed early enough, because I don't know, I was watching something or scrolling social media or playing a video game or anything like that. This happens extremely rarely. When I don't get enough sleep, it's because I wake up every hour or every 2 hours, or I can't fall asleep. But I still lay there in bed. I don't get up. I have learned to, just let it go and not get frustrated. Just accept reality as it is. I'm having difficulties falling asleep. It's okay. Nothing bad is happening to me. Sure, I will be tired the next day. I will be less active. But it's not the end of the world. It's just one night. It's just this moment, this night. And it's, accepting reality as it is, not fantasizing about different versions of reality. I'm still in the process of learning this, but it took me really long to start to accept reality as it is, not fantasizing about any alterations. And that's also not fantasizing about what could have been or what may happen in the future. Um, so the sounds a bit complicated, but my life is fairly easy at this point. I mean, from a technical point of view, get up at 4, exercise, take a cold shower, and I really mean cold shower, eat breakfast, work, stop working, and do something for myself. Engage in one of the few hobbies that I've picked up, and I have a few of them. I like video games, so I play some games. I play the guitar. Okay. I don't remember when was the last time I actually read a book. That's on me. But I still can't actually read anything. I can't. I don't have at the moment at least, the attention span. I know that I want to go back to reading more and more over time, but it's not that easy to getting around doing it. It's actually, if it's difficult for a normal person, and by normal I mean relatively healthy, it's hard to develop new routines. But for me, developing a new routine, especially if I'm not extremely enthusiastic towards it, is really fucking hard. It's like, I don't know. It's like running a marathon. Apart from everything, I'm also very impatient. and I'm learning this the hard way. Um, that's another thing. I'm really trying to get to know who I am, because okay, there is this hypothesis that when you start drinking, your emotional development stops at the time you enter the addiction period. And when I started drinking when I was 12, I didn't develop correctly, apart from depression influencing my development earlier. Um, I never got to know who I am. And that led to a lot of terrible choices. But more of that in the future. Suffice to state that the choices I made hurt me, hurt others. Yeah, but hobbies are really important things to me right now. I also do some miniature painting. I really like. Already mentioned it, and the newest thing I've started doing is this. What you're listening to, this poor excuse of a podcast. I know how this all sounds. I do hope that you forgive the quality of this. It is my first attempt at something like this. And this is my so on the outside, this is my life. The day is relatively simple, organized, clean. Apart from that, there is a lot going on in my head. I have experienced when I went into relapse a quarter of a year ago. The first month, I was angry at everything. I was so pissed. Everything was fucking annoying. Work was annoying. People were annoying. The world was annoying. I mean, it still is, but it's manageable right now. I mean, my emotions are manageable right now. The world hasn't changed. It's still a pretty crappy place to be in. But I still want to live, which also is a nice change of thought. Yeah, but everything was. I was so fucking furious. Everything was. I just wanted to. I just wanted to yell and scream and break stuff, and well, I didn't do any of it apart from the screaming, yelling, swearing a lot. Oh my god. I mean, I like swearing. I really enjoy curse words. They're just a natural element of my language. But back then, oh my god, I would not utter a single sentence that would not have at least 3 fucks in it. Or more. That was my life. And something changed. I was no longer angry, but because I was angry all the time for a month, my energy got completely depleted. And when my anger went away, I fell into sadness. I fell into a constant state of being sad, of regret, of self-doubt. And I spent another month in this puddle I would crawl in and I would feel comfortable in the past. So I went back inside, completely without energy, and I've been there for a month. I don't exactly know what happened that it stopped. But at some point, I got out of that mess. I learned to accept my emotions. I learned to express my emotions in a more healthy way, let's say. To be more kind to myself, to be more loving of myself. Um, and it's really changed them, and it's really been a completely different experience for the past month. Um, it's still a mystery. I mean, a lot of my life is a mystery to me, and hopefully we together will somehow will over the course of the coming episodes we will discover me together, however ridiculous this may sound. um, I'd like to finish for now, and I'd like to finish with a few thoughts. First off, I feel extreme doubt in what I just recorded. I feel like an imposter having recorded this, because there's a gazillion other better podcasts, and it doesn't matter how many times I tell myself that, yeah, but they had to start somewhere. That doesn't get into my head. Not yet, actually. Maybe when I reach episode 5 or 10 or 20, if there will be that many. I still don't know how many episodes there will be, because as I said, this is going to be a close project. I feel doubt. I feel a bit excited that I actually went through this and recorded it, but I feel a lot of doubt that this is, what am I even doing here? What's this supposed to be about? I mean, I've been babbling without a script for for 40 minutes, 45 minutes right now. I don't know even. And it's a complete mess of a recording, so many interruptions, me puffing to the microphone despite having, all the equipment that should eliminate that. And I want to crawl into my bed under a cozy blanket, and just hide from the world. And yeah. But at the same time, I feel relieved that I actually started this. And we'll see how it goes in the future. Thanks for now. Take good care of yourselves. Please take good care of yourselves. If you feel that you'd need to talk to someone, go talk to someone. There is already way too much stigma on mental health in the context of, for example, men, or in the context of addiction, or depression. Fight the stigma. Be open with yourselves about what you're feeling, about your doubts. Talk to someone. The worst thing that can happen is you're gonna find out that it's not that bad. The best thing that can happen, you're going to open up to yourself and to a completely new reality you never thought existed. Having therapy and going through this process, however painful and laborious it may be, is one of the best things that happened to me, and I am extremely grateful that it did. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Cheers. Good night.